Good evening humans, Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Venompool Wave Morbius figure. I'm about a year late on this one because I never found it in the wild. I had canceled my pre-order for the entire wave at one point just because, just wasn't working out. And finally I've been able to locate everything I wanted to locate from the wave and found this one. And I love this more than I thought I would. So let's find out why. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, I love this version of Morbius. I know some people, actually most people were kind of lukewarm to negative. And for me, I love this. I like vampires to be as inhuman looking as possible. And this is definitely a version that looks that way. I haven't read a ton of comics, certainly recently, so I wasn't familiar with this version of Morbius, but I really like this representation. Definitely kind of a mall goth aesthetic, but I dig it. And I kind of wish the body suit was more of a true black as opposed to this kind of blue black. But that does, it being a blue black does kind of help the little corset belt piece here stick out a little bit more. So that's pretty cool. I definitely dig that. Then you have the cape, which is all purple. I actually will probably paint the back of this black, true black, because I think that kind of interplay will be a lot cooler than just this. But I do love the shape of the cape. Just really, it's swooping, but not in a distracting way, and can definitely lend itself to many different poses. Sculpt on the face is absolutely fantastic. Again, that kind of inhuman look. The eyes just separate enough. The lack of pupils. There is a slight wash here that isn't coming across with my lighting. Maybe it will when I actually edit this, but just it's there and it looks great. Screaming head sculpts can be hit or miss. I really like this one. It definitely fits the character. And yeah, just really excellent overall. Even all the legs and arms are pretty much reuse and very basic, but again, just really fits. And obviously I'm a fan of the more or less glove look on the hands. So yeah, that's aesthetics. When it comes to accessories, all we really get with Morbius is the Build-A-Figure piece, which is Venompool's right arm and a couple of hands, which I'm cool with. Morbius isn't a character that requires a lot of accessories. Some extra hands, maybe another head sculpt would have definitely been cool. But I'm definitely okay with this, considering the torso, as far as I understand, is a completely new sculpt. The head is a new sculpt, hands are a new sculpt, stuff like that. Costs being what they are, I get it. And not only that, but this helps me complete Venompool finally. So I have Venompool's right arm. I am missing Venompool's right arm. That clicks in, and there we go. Now my Venompool is complete. And yeah, and you got the gripping hand for Venompool as well as the kind of clawed hand that you saw on there. That's accessories. Articulation is where this figure really impressed me. It's nothing extraneous or crazy, and in fact it's a relatively basic figure, certainly by modern Marvel Legends standards, but still it feels really good to pose, and you can get some great poses out of it. So starting at the head, we're just on a ball hinge as we are generally, but we do get a little bit of tilt. We get full down. We get full up with minimal lollipopping, which is really the impressive part there. And not only that, but if you're tilting to the side and getting your kind of cock to the side poses, it looks really good and just works super well for this sculpted character. So I love that. Arms, no butterfly, just our standard, but comes up to a T, goes all the way around, all that other sort of fun stuff. So that works really well. We have our bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows that get well past 90. We have our swivel hinge on the hands. Then we have our ab crunch right there in the middle. So gets a pretty decent crunch out of it. And then some really good back, as pretty much any figure with an ab crunch gets pretty good back. And then we come down to the legs. Not crazy on the splits, but definitely serviceable. We get our thigh swivel. We get our double jointed knees coming up to not a little bit weirdness on the knee sculpt there. So we're getting a little bit past 90. We do have boot cut, Oh, and there goes the there goes the cape. And then we get point. Absolutely fantastic. We get some really nice forward. And then we get generous pivot. And that's Articulation. Here's Morbius with some assorted Marvel Legends. With some other Hasbro stuff. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally, with an Articulated Icons Oni, and yours truly as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on Morbius here is that this is a surprisingly solid entry into the Marvel Legends line. Again, I think a lot of people were lukewarm to it just because not a version of the character they liked, or just, you know, there's not a lot going on, not some extra accessories or anything like that. So going into this, I was thinking like, I love the design, so I definitely want it, but I'm not expecting much, and it's super fun to pose around, and despite not coming with extra accessories, you definitely get some really cool poses out of it. So that being what it is, if you agree with me, I will put some links in the description for where you can get Morbius, because they, I think, are doing not a reissue, but they're doing a second wave or something like that, because I know it came up on Big Bad Toy Store, so there'll be at least be a link there, possibly other locations if I see them up. So that being said, if you found this review entertaining and or informative, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Also sharing. And if you want to help in other ways with the channel, I will have ways to do that in the description as well. So thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.